Well, this mower is doing a nice job today. Granted, this end of the field's pretty thin. It's really sandy. There's definitely a lot of bed straw in it, but lots of clover, and it's kind of second cut like. And as I've talked about in years past, this is part of the hay that I do for Natural Roots, which is the horse-powered vegetable farm. So this is all their land. They manage the fertility, and I come in and do it for them. So yeah, some of the quality in it's not the best. Over here in other spots, it's beautiful. It's got really fine grasses, should dry quickly. I'll talk more about it later. Got my dad starting to ted. Haven't actually had him do this in a while. Keep mowing here in a minute. Alrighty, well that's knocked down. This field's just about 6 acres, although there's a new leach field in that far corner that chews out of that a little bit, although the new neighbor seems very conscientious of field footprint, so that's nice. And then there's this field's pretty rectangular, but this spot between me and where my dad's tedding right now actually has standing water. So you've got super well-drained dry land, and then all of a sudden it just gets super wet in there. I ran into that 2 years ago doing second cut. So it was tempting to leave a long strip to come back and do, but they come and graze this pasture up above it with the horses, and so I think they can graze that easily enough too, and then I don't have to worry about it. So maybe 20 or 30 bales in there that we won't be getting, but given how the year's going. Anyway, they're talking about hopefully decent sun today, on and off, tiny chance of showers this afternoon, really good sun tomorrow, which is Friday, and I've done this field in 2 days before. Now Saturday looks like it's going to be anywhere from mostly cloudy, even partly sunny, late day chance of showers. So knowing that I can conceivably get some of this in 2 days and then have a third day as backup, the way this year's going, we need to get Natural Roots there. Hey, so yeah, that's it for now. I'll work this a few times today. Well, that tells me we had a close call today. No fawns discovered, the hard way or otherwise, but that doe is looking around, so hopefully it's just off in the edge or off in the area we didn't mow. A lot gloomier today though than they were saying. No rain on the radar. And I don't know how much of this is western smoke. They said that's going to start moving in again tomorrow and the next day. But as I've said before, I think if I have to have cloudy weather during a hay stretch, I'd rather it be at the beginning, because the moisture gradient's high enough, this stuff's going to start to dry regardless. I can still feel a little bit of heat coming. It's got a nice breeze. Nice finer grasses. Top is already starting to be drier. I'm gonna give this another hour and ted it up again, because here we are. Well, the doe is back right in this area again, which is where I saw her for the first time. And there's a turkey vulture down in here. So I really hope I didn't not even notice that I hit a fawn, but I'm not seeing any evidence either. I'll keep an eye out. I hope not. But she at the very least doesn't know where the fawn is. Well, I'm not gonna show it, but I found the fawn. It's lunched. That really sucks. I didn't even see it or hear it or anything. I hate that. At least with a disc mower, it's quick. I'm not sure what bums me out more. The fact that I didn't even know I hit it, or the fact that it was in this little sliver that I almost didn't even mow. But I figured, hey, the ground's dry here, I can get on it. I mean, how the heck am I supposed to know, right? But that sucks. Well, they forecasted sun today. We haven't gotten any. This crazy thick cloud deck. It's just been what's sitting there. We got like, 5 minutes of sun here or there, which felt nice. I'm about to head this again. It is making progress. Yeah, this top is actually drying. It's not anywhere near cured, but the bottom is greener. It's around 4 o'clock. We're only a week past the solstice. So we'll see whether we get some sun later or just continued little bits of warmth you can feel through the cloud deck and some breeze, and then hope for the sun they're promising tomorrow. All right, we've got day 2, Friday. Very different day. They're promising a lot of sun, tiny chance of isolated showers later today. So I want to see if I can get any of this baleable today. Tomorrow they're saying partly sunny, but also a chance of isolated showers. So with this much hay down for for a farm that relies on it, I'm not going to mess around still. A lot of dry down though. For no sun yesterday, it definitely made some progress. Well, return of the cloud bank, haze, a little bit of sun peeking through, but man, I don't know about a repeat of yesterday, but it's awfully humid and not nearly as much sun. Well, we're getting some hazy sun now, but it's sun, still a lot of it. It's only 2:45. So I just headed some edges, the wet areas. There's kind of a swale that runs through the middle of the field diagonally where there's still a lot of green on this half. But I'm hoping to rake this half to the left shortly, and then I'll rake the right, and then I'll see if anything's ready to bale on the left, even if it's the back corner. Okay, it's 4:30 and there's a lot that's ready here. Not the swale. So I'm actually gonna end up baling a lot of the far end of the field, I think. And in retrospect, I probably should have raked it differently, but this is how I've always done it. All right, so 175 bale start. That feels like a win after thinking I wasn't gonna get anything today. Humidity really kicked up though, but those bales are great. If anything, they're almost a little too light. So I'm not complaining about that. See if we get enough sun tomorrow to flop this around 11, start baling, and then have Natural Roots with their teams come out and start fetching wagons. Okay, day 3, Saturday. It's about 11 a.m. and the sun just came out finally. So much smoke though. I mean, I know it's definitely worse in other areas, but being in this valley, you can smell it, you can feel it, and even this, what should be bright sunshine, is so filtered. Super heavy dew last night. It was like misting fog this morning. Without knowing how much sun we're going to get, I'm going to grab the tedder and tease out some of the thicker windrows around the edges. Definitely this field edge one. It's dry on top, which is nice, but the underside is actively wet. It's not even damp, it's wet. And we got to get this up today with enough time for them to be unloading everything. So we'll see. I may end up lightly teasing out everything. You guys have seen me do it before. Call it the faux rotary rake. So here we go. Count this as more of a raking than a tedding, to be honest. Hitting 2 rows at once. Almost clean enough that I could bale it like that, but I have a lot that I leave behind, so I will have to actually rake it again. But with how wet this morning was, might have taken 2 rakings anyway. Well, I went to go clean up the fawn carcass and it was gone, but it moved to over here. Something ate most of it. I don't know if turkey vultures would really carry something that far, so it must have been something on foot, I would guess, but it's sort of funny for it to drag it all the way out here and then just eat it elsewhere in the field. But anyway, at least it was a meal. That's something. Well, just pulling the tarps off, but stuff from yesterday seems great. So definitely glad we tarped it. That was such a heavy, misty, foggy dew. But yeah, feels like a good jump. I knew it would be helpful to park both wagons next to each other. just worked out to have an extra wagon for it. Final count, 513 bales off of 5.5 acres or so. So that puts us pretty well on target for this year, especially how dry and thin that back corner was. Yeah, spread it out over 6 wagons and a little bit on a 7th, just because to keep their unloading team going and, you know, getting diminishing returns, trying to pack them on. And even the wet area stuff was fine. This sliver over here had a couple in there that were higher moisture, and it just worked out to put those last like 20 bales on a different wagon, and they'll just feed those out first. So yeah, weird weather, but a definite win here. Glad that I got a start on it yesterday. We'll see what the next weather stretch brings. I'd like to do their 3 smaller fields across the river next because I'm here, but they get a lot of shade. So if we get another dicey window, I'll move the circus back to a different field. This year is not efficient.